Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Paul K. Dunn, owner advisor at Science Retirement Advisors, protecting the future of my community. Also, proudly supporting Project 1000 mission, financially empowering 1,000 family and friends in 2017. Welcome back. We are now on day 4, enemy of your money, number 4. And today's enemy is taxes. And we call today's enemy the government's cash cow. But before we go any further, we want to make sure we let you know that we are on number 4, day 4. However, you've been following along. And if you have just picked up onto the series, then we encourage you to start at the the 5 enemies of your money intro and work your way from 1 all the way through in order before you begin to listen outside of order, because we have things in order and we place them there for a purpose, and we just want to make sure that you absorb the information the best way possible. Okay, so after you've listened to them in order, feel free to listen to them out of order to reiterate the information and just make it stick a little better. But we highly encourage you go from 1 through 5 in order that we place them. Okay, so today's topic is about taxes. Now, taxes are another one of the most misunderstood phenomenons of the world. Along with compound interest schemes, banks and government systems love to use financial tools that allow them to profit with little effort. This is called leverage. One definition of leverage is to use something to maximize your advantage. Okay? Using something to its maximum advantage is what governments and banks love to do. And this is exactly what's being done to those who have lower financial intelligence. Taxes in some states can add up to as much as 50%. As much as 50%. And that's taken away from you. Okay? The first 3 months of each year is just to pay taxes in many working households. Ordinary tax is the highest taxed income in the tax code, and that is the very income that 95% of Americans consider its primary income source. Capital gains tax is the lowest taxed income and used to represent the other wealthy 5% of America. Okay, so we will break them down further to help you understand a little bit better how they work. Capital gains tax, by definition, is a tax levied on profit from the sale of property or of an investment. Even though there are a bunch of confusing jargon and other numbers thrown around, capital gains tax range between 0, 15, and 20%. Most savvy investors never pay more than 15%, and the extreme cases of wealth get away with paying 0, similar to Donald Trump. What happens is that the large lump sums of money are created for the investor, giving them a huge amount of capital to divide up. They can live for several years on one good deal while being able to invest large amounts of money into high compound interest investments. These investments spit out more large lump sums of cash, and the cycle repeats. Since the investor is using the tax code to keep the investments registered as capital gains, they never get hit with tax penalties larger than 20%. And here we are in the ordinary income world, making far less money than the wealthy and paying up to 50% in tax. Okay? This is how true investors maintain and grow their wealth. The government does this by partner with other countries. Okay? They take the ordinary tax money and invest it for capital gains profit using compound interest to grow their money. The bad part about this is that the profit the government makes is not being financially managed appropriately. So we are going further into debt rather than becoming a debt-free country. This, in a nutshell, is capital gains. There will be plenty more examples in our blog, so stay tuned to continue your education. Next, it's ordinary tax. Let's go over that a little bit. Ordinary income is usually characterized as income other than long-term capital gain. Ordinary income can consist of income from wages, salary, tips, commissions, bonuses, and other types of compensation from employment, interest, dividends, or net income from a sole proprietorship, partnership, or LLC. This is the tax you see when you go to work that is taken out before you get paid. This is also the tax you see when you profit without having a properly set up company. It's also the tax you pay when you pass away. No matter what you do, you are taxed. The question is, which one will you pay? We are here to help you pay no more tax than you need to. We don't give tax advice. Instead, we give you practical knowledge as to how to shift your income back into your pocket. Ordinary tax is the highest tax you can pay, and it is known that more than 80% of Americans pay too much tax, and a lot of that is due to the lack of information and education. So learn more about income shifting in our blog. We have a link there, and we also have partnered with a specific company that can get your financial intelligence up to date when it comes to shifting your income back into your pocket. Okay? Now, the other side of taxes that I must make you aware of has to do with how you save or invest your money. If you work, you've probably heard of pension plans, Social Security, 401ks, 403bs, IRAs, Roth IRAs, cash value life insurance, and annuities. All of these plans have different tax structures, and where you choose to save your money can determine how much or how little you will have over your lifetime of saving or investing. Investment real estate is also in this category as it falls under a retirement vehicle that allows you to save or invest over a long period of time. There are 3 different categories you need to understand. Tax Now. Category 1. The Tax Now category includes your bank, stocks, and bonds. If you put your money in this type of vehicle, you get taxed immediately upon earning profit. If you make money from your CD, the interest is liable to pay tax once your profit is received. If your stocks or bonds make money, you are liable to pay taxes once your profits are realized. These are considered tax now investments or savings vehicles. The good side is that usually this money is liquid and easy to access. These type of accounts are good for emergency savings plans and short-term investments. Tax later. Tax later accounts are often called tax deferred. A tax deferred account means that you are not liable to pay tax now. You pay tax later in the future when you begin to withdraw money from the account, or when you reach a certain age and they force you to take the money out. Okay? In these type of accounts, aside from the real estate, you agree to keep your money tied up for the long term, generally until you reach 59 and a half, in exchange for not having to pay the penalty. You can be penalized for early withdrawal, and in some cases, penalized up to 50% for not withdrawing by a certain age, which is considered not withdrawing at all. Okay, they can penalize you for keeping your money in because they want to tax that money. So if you never withdraw it, they never get paid. So they force you at a certain age to take that money out, or they will penalize you up to 50%. These accounts are generally used to build a nest egg for retirement, and if not structured correctly, can leave you with too little to remain in retirement. Another catch to the tax later category is you don't know where taxes will be at the time you choose to begin drawing down on your money. You will accumulate a large nest egg and then get taxed on the larger amount, when the better thing to do could be to be taxed on the smaller piece. Okay. Now, here's a quick question. Would you like to pay taxes on 500,000 or 5,000? Let's do the math. If taxes are 50% and you get taxed on 500,000, you pay 250,000. If you get taxed on 5,000, you pay 2,500. It is best that if you use this type of vehicle, tax later, you only use it where absolutely necessary and you get advice from a fiduciary advisor. A fiduciary advisor looks out for your best interest and not his or her commission or fees. Have them show you the money you will put in your pocket. Okay, have them show you the money that you're going to put into the account and how much money you're going to actually put into your pocket. And make sure to consult with more than one. Tax advantaged. The tax advantage category means you have the possibility of avoiding tax altogether. A tax advantaged vehicle is a long-term savings investment account that also builds a nest egg. Now, this is not tax fraud. This is not illegally withholding taxes. This is using a tax protected vehicle to shelter your money from taxes that are not necessary to be paid out. Okay, real estate can also be structured as a tax advantage vehicle by transferring the profits from one investment to the next. And in that environment, that would be called a 1031 exchange. Doing this correctly can avoid triggering capital gains tax because the investor never collects the actual profit as income. Another good tax advantage vehicle is cash value index universal life insurance policies. Okay, you can shelter your money in a cash value life insurance policy, which is protected by the tax code. You can shelter your money there and then withdraw that at your retirement age, tax free. This vehicle can save money over the long term and structure the drawdown of its income as a loan to avoid ever triggering capital gains tax. You take the money out tax free and agree to pay it back, but without the obligation to do so because it is your money. Okay? Wealthy Jewish families would use cash value life insurance to create born millionaires because of how they would structure the passing on of generational wealth. This process is called generational wealth. Okay? Passing on of wealth from one generation to the next is called generational wealth. Your generational wealth can be passed on to your next generation tax free by using the correct cash value life insurance policy. Now, if you're on track to being wealthy, tax advantage accounts should be your primary long-term investing vehicles. Here are 3 types of accounts to look into. Index universal life insurance, and it should be structured in a way where life insurance really isn't the key item that you're paying for, but more so the cash value that you're going to accumulate over your lifetime. Okay, now a Roth IRA is protected from being taxed upon withdrawal. However, you do want to pay attention to the fact that it is seen by the government, which means the government knows how much money is in Roth IRAs at all times. And that is always a triggering factor to later in the future, them passing a law where they can dip their hands into your IRA accounts. And there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. So understand how your Roth IRA is structured if you have one. And I still say to use a smaller portion in your Roth IRA than you would use in Index Universal Life Insurance or in your investment real estate, which is the third account that you would look into. So the main 2 that you really want to have in your portfolio is Index Universal Life Insurance and investment real estate. Those are the two main ones. And if you have access to it, you can have a third one as the Roth IRA. And this just gives you diversification. Okay. It's very hard to max out the other two. But if you want to diversify and put some money aside in a different vehicle because you have access to it, and you know it's with trusted people, then by all means, definitely spread your money where you can. Okay, so that wraps up today's topic of our enemy number 4, which is taxes. Okay, any questions, make sure you get to the group. But until next time, okay, I wish you prosperity, abundance, and success in all that you do. This is Paul K. Dunn. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.